Everybody, welcome back to another Jackson jet setting tips and tricks video. Today we're coming to you from the brand new Utopia of the Seas from Royal Caribbean. This is a brand new Oasis class ship, now the second largest ship sailing on Earth. I was really excited to be on board for the maiden voyage, and I have a lot of tips and tricks for you for your next sailing on Utopia of the Seas if you're going to go check out the latest and greatest from Royal Caribbean. If you like these types of videos, if you love cruise content, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. First off, some general thoughts about the ship itself. So this is the latest of the Oasis class ships. I have had the fortune of sailing on almost all of the Oasis class ships, so I have a lot to compare her to. I will say she is very similar to Wonder of the Seas in that she's pretty brand new. They have iterated a lot of the layout designs, and they've brought in the latest and greatest onto this vessel. There's a lot of new on board though, which I really liked. My favorite new thing on board has been the Pesky Parrot, which is located on the Royal Promenade and is a new tiki bar concept. They have an animatronic parrot named Brian in there that is wisecracking a little bit. I've even heard rumors that they're going to have a live comedian voicing the parrot at certain times, but that wasn't live for my cruise. I also loved the new locations of some familiar favorites. Izumi is now in the Central Park. It's nice and expanded. There's a lot more space for hibachi, which is a very popular ticket on board. And they added the new omakase. I actually had a chance to dine on the omakase table. It's like a 6-person chef's table. It was really fantastic. Definitely worth the splurge. I would highly recommend booking that because it is a very low capacity experience. So you're going to jump on that very quickly. Just make sure that you like sushi and you like fish because it's very sushi and fish forward, it being in the Izumi sushi bar. If you've watched a few other of my Royal Caribbean review or tips and tricks videos, some of their bars a little bit more different, like maybe they have a different drinks menu. A lot of the bars just all kind of have the same menu across a lot of their ships. Not on Utopia. They really did try and make a signature drink at every single bar. I was able to try a bunch of them. They're all pretty good. They've expanded lime and coconut on to 2 different stories on this ship. Thought that was really a hit. Just a lot of cool stuff. Like even the Wipeout bar has a snow cone bar now for non-alcoholic snow cones and even boozy snow cones. I wasn't a big fan of the snow cone itself, but I like being able to take a little bit of a different order from me and try out something new on board Utopia of the Seas. And of course, the hottest ticket on board is going to be the Royal Railway. I was unfortunately unable to dine here during my maiden voyage. It just only had one of the 2 rail cars working, and it was already low capacity to begin with. So instead, I was able to just walk through and check it out. It looks absolutely stunning, and the reviews have been pretty good. I think the whole experience is really awesome. Not necessarily a 5-star dining experience by any means, but really cool. So definitely something you're going to want to check out on board and book very early. Now, if this is your first Royal Caribbean cruise, you're going to want to know that once you are booked, you want to connect that to the Royal Caribbean app. The Royal Caribbean app is going to allow you to check in to your cruise about 60 days before your cruise. That's going to assign you an arrival time at the port. And the earlier arrival time that you receive, the earlier you can get on board and start enjoying your vacation. So I always try and get the earliest possible. It's around 10:30 most of the time. So just look out for that date in your calendar and make sure that you're ready to check in and have that early arrival time. The app also is going to allow you to book a lot of excursions, onboard activities, and usually that's going to be at a discount. Royal Caribbean offers frequent sales as well, usually around holiday periods. So you're going to want to book that when the price looks really good because you are able to cancel and rebook for free. So they're going to take payment when you do reserve that activity. But often I will say, oh, look, internet is discounted 15%, but then it'll drop to 20 or 25% discounted. So I'll cancel my old reservation for the internet and rebook, and I've saved a lot of money. So definitely just keep a watchful eye on the things that you are wanting to do on board in that app. Now, Utopia of the Seas is an Oasis class ship, so my normal advice for people selecting a cabin is going to apply here. You're going to want to pick the right part of the ship for you. Now, that could mean maybe being away from the elevators because you want a quieter experience, a quieter cruise. Or maybe you want to be closer to the pool deck because these elevators can get a little jammed. Now, the cool thing with Utopia of the Seas is my normal advice of be really close to where you want to hang out because the elevators can get a little packed has been mitigated a little bit because this ship does have destination elevators. This did premiere on Icon of the Seas, and I think generally it was pretty successful in spreading people out and making sure that you do have space on that elevator for when you call it. Now, the wait for those elevators can sometimes be a little bit longer, but overall, I thought it was a success. Still, these ships are over 1,000 feet long, so if all the things that you want to do are going to be on the opposite end of the ship for your entire vacation, you might get sick of that walk back to the cabin, especially if you forget something. So I do recommend taking a look at the different decks. I have a full tour of the ship that you can see what part of the ship is going to be where you're going to be hanging out, or maybe think you're going to be hanging out most of the time, and you can kind of build your cabin selection around that. Royal Caribbean offers several different dining options within the main dining room. You have an early seating, a late seating, and then my time dining. My time, you actually reserve the time that you want to eat. It's a little bit more flexible. I prefer to have dinner on the earlier side because I think that the service is quicker and faster in the early seating, and there's so many activities at night on these ships. There's just tons of different entertainment options. There's dozens of theaters. You're going to want to be out and about on the ship later at night. So I'm not normally an early eater, but I think I do normally choose that time if I am dining in the main dining room. Now, a big tip that I have for people is I'm not the biggest fan of the main dining food, especially now that Royal Caribbean has redone their menus to be a little bit more streamlined. So what I like to do is get the unlimited dining package on board. This is going to provide you a specialty dinner at one of the specialty restaurants each evening of your cruise, as well as lunch at a few of them on your sea days and embarkation day. You also get a $20 credit at some of the a la carte restaurants. It's about $10 at the Izumi in the park to go window. But it's really, really a great value. It also provides some wine bottle discounts for wines under $100 and then over $100. So if you're a wine drinker, this can be a way to save on that and not have to get the drink package. So I do recommend taking a look at what the pricing is for your cruise and maybe taking advantage of that. And since I mentioned it, let's talk drink packages. Now, for me, I don't normally get the drink package because I do have casino status on board Prime that gets me free drinks in the casino bar when the casino bar is open. And I'm now a Diamond member, so I get 4 free drinks every day at any bar I want on the ship, up to $14, just like the drink package. So I'm not going to be in the market for that, but when I did do careful math to see if it really made sense. They have upped the drink package prices over the years, and sometimes it just doesn't really make sense if you're someone who's not a big drinker, or maybe a soda package would be a better fit for you. There's a number of different packages available on board that you're going to want to take a look at. Now, when you are doing your math on the drink package, do make sure to do math for those non-alcoholic drinks. You have your sparkling waters, you have some smoothies, you have Red Bulls, you have specialty coffees. As long as you're not ordering them from the branded Starbucks location, those are included in the drink package. So there are a lot of things that are included just beyond alcoholic drinks that maybe would add up to making sense on your vacation. I will say paying one price before your cruise and just not worrying about the bill, that has its benefits too. You are on vacation and you're here to relax. So just keep that in mind. Maybe do a little bit of the math if you're like me, more of an analytical thinker. But if you're someone who's like, the price looks good, let's just do that, that'll work too for you. Now, Utopia of the Seas is unique in that it's the first brand new ship from Royal Caribbean that's going to be doing 3 and 4 night voyages to start rather than the traditional week-long cruise. It sails out of Port Canaveral, and so it's going to be doing 3-night weekend cruises and then 4-night cruises during the week. They're all going to stop at Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which is Royal Caribbean's private island, as well as Nassau. That 4-night voyage is going to be the one that's going to have the sea day. I think this is a big enough ship that you're going to want that sea day as a little extra day. I was on the 3-night voyage, and I've been on plenty of 3-night sailings before. It goes by really, really quick because you have embarkation day that goes by in a whirl. It's kind of almost a half day. And then you just have 2 days in port and you don't really have that relaxation day on the ship. So I do recommend that 4-night voyage if you can. Now, once you are in port, Perfect Day at Coco Cay has a number of different options available to you. There are completely free options like just hanging on the beach. My favorite is South Beach, has that floating bar. If you are a Diamond member, your drinks do work on shore, which is great, and your beverage package does work on shore. So that's one nice thing to account for when you're doing that beverage package math. Lots of free food on shore as well. I love the chicken sandwich. It's really, really great. But there are some premium options too. You're going to have the Thrill Water Park, which is an awesome, awesome water park, one of the best out there in the entire world. You also have the Hideaway Beach Club, which is an adults only experience, and the Cocoa Beach Club, which I was able to experience on my Utopia of the Seas voyage for the first time. So there's a bunch of different options. They can vary in price depending on your sailing, so just do the math. Make sure you're watching out for those sales if that's something that you're really interested in. So I just recommend enjoying your time on Perfect Day at Coco Cay. It is truly one of the best options out there in terms of the private island experiences that cruise lines have. Now in Nassau, there are a lot of options available as well. This is some port that a lot of people don't love. It's not my favorite port, I will admit, but I have had a lot of fun off the ship. Atlantis is going to be your very premium water park option. It is a very cool theme park though. There's no traditional rides, it's all water slides, but one of the best active wave rivers I've ever seen out there. The thing is over a mile long, and there's tons of aquariums all over. You can check out my full tour of the experience on the channel. It is a really cool area. They have some competition now though. Baha Mar also offers a water park experience. It can be a little bit cheaper than Atlantis, and it's very premium. There's a lot of really good food over there, and the casino is really amazing. It reminds me a lot of the Wynn Las Vegas Resort if you've been over there. As far as spectacular, always is my favorite. It just is so amazing to see these athletes on the ice, so definitely don't miss out on that. And then you're going to have the production show All In, which is going to be very high energy. It's going to use some of the best technology that I've ever seen anywhere, honestly. Really cool lighting technology. They have drones that they use in a few other shows that I've seen across the fleet. It's really impressive. Not much of a story, just playing the hits. Really fun. And a good use of 45 minutes of your time on board for sure. They also had 3 different comedians on my inaugural cruise, keeping the laughs going, and they do that in the Attic, which is a smaller comedy club on board that they use for other things as well. But then they also do one final show in the main theater for people that want to see the comedians, so that's really great. There's other smaller activities throughout the ship. They have a brand new escape room that I managed to participate in. That was a lot of fun. Definitely recommend doing that, though it is an extra charge at about $30 a person. You can definitely find discounts before your cruise, though, which is great. You're going to have laser tag, which is a fun thing that takes over the ice skating arena. And then one really cool thing that Utopia of the Seas is doing is brand new exclusive to Utopia of the Seas activities. The Toga Silent Disco on my final evening was a big hit for me. I thought that was really fun. They had 3 live DJs spinning 3 different types of tunes that you could select from. It was really a lot of fun. They also had a frat party on board with beer pong. That was new. So they are definitely mixing things up on Utopia of the Seas to make it for that audience that they're going for, which is maybe someone that's never cruised before, but is looking to try out a cruise on some shorter voyage on a brand new ship. So that's what they're going for, and I think that they are doing a really amazing job. So those are the things you need to know for sailing on Utopia of the Seas. Thanks a lot for watching, and one final reminder to subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed the content and want to see more.